Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Operation Status Quo here on a Tuesday. It is Tuesday. If you're flowing with the quo, clap your hands. If you're flowing with the quo, clap your hands. If you're flowing with the quo, when you're really in the know. If you're flowing with the quo, clap your hands. Yay! Hey-o. All right, excuse me. Hello, pardon me. Am I here? Am I here? Let's wake up a little bit. All right, I'm sorry. I was a little silly and unnecessarily energetic for the introduction of the show. I didn't even say hello yet. Well, I did say hello, right? And then I started singing, I think. All right, anyway, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Operation Status Quo here on a beautiful Tuesday. As I say, all days are beautiful because everything is beautiful. You're beautiful, I'm beautiful, the world's beautiful. All time and space, or the lack existence thereof, is beautiful as well, right? Okay. Where am I? I'm Pete Palma. Who am I? I'm Pete Palma. That's right. And where am I? I'm here, and you're there. Anyway, this is Operation Status Quo, and this is the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life, and then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, yo. Because that's the only way to go. Are you doing that out there? Let me know, right off the bat, before we even get started. Drop it in the comments. What are you doing today to create your own flow of quo, yo? So I did go swimming again today, by the way, for those of you who like to keep up on my pool escapades here in Florida. Again, it was a little chilly today. My fingers were a little numb when I came out, but I got a good half hour in there today. I saw the one guy who works with the association, is in the office over there, by the pool. And he's like, oh, you must be from up north. The only people I see swimming in December are from up north. I'm like, yeah, I am. I go, but listen, I'm no fool, I said. I'm not trying to prove anything or freeze myself to death. When it really gets to be to a point that I can't do it, I won't do it, but I want to see how far we can make it. So tomorrow probably not looking like a good day. I should have like a chart or something I put up and do the pool forecast. Tomorrow's supposed to be like only in the 60s here, I think. So I probably won't make it. But anyway, who the frig cares about me going swimming in a pool, right? Do you really care? The only reason I bring it up is because this is a place of love and joy, and this show is just like a fun spot to observe life and talk about things. And, try to bring perspective of the multitude of endless possibilities that exist in our world, So why not talk about little fun things like that, right? I mean, I like for you, that's what, I always say that here, this place is a spot, not just for me, it's a place for you, of course, so, you can share your stories. Maybe you go to the gym every day, or maybe you like to go skiing and you want to talk about it. Let me know. We'll talk about it whenever you like here on Operation Status Quo. All right. Oh, I see the red box coming up. Am I going to start buffering? I'm going to start buffering. The box is back to green, so maybe we're okay. Guys, I love you out there. How the heck are you doing? Are you living a good life? Are you feeling good? That's really what it's all about. That's what I like to encourage in everyone. It's just about, personal empowerment, feeling good about yourself, not letting the outside world drag you down, and making choices that help you live to be the best you can be. And the real simple truth of anything, and I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent before I even start my thing, but, the real simple truth of it all is just how we vibrate, right? Like if you're always in a space, no matter what you're doing, even if you're by yourself, just sitting in a corner, but if you're feeling love and gratitude and all these kind of beautiful feelings, that's what emanates and that's what goes into the collective, so it doesn't have to be, they have to do anything so grand. It's really just about, really, keeping yourself at a high vibration, recognizing when you're succumbing to, lower ways of thinking and such, because the world kind of drags us down that way sometimes. And, being able to just kind of circumvent that. Well, I didn't say circumvent it. You accept it, you realize it, you go through it, you process it, but you don't attach to it and let it keep you in a space of being low. You don't want to go low. You want to go, what did I want to sing? I don't know what I was going to sing, but I don't know what I was going to sing there, but I'm flying high. Something I don't know. Something with flying high. If you come up with a good song for flying high, let me know. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. Remember that song from Greatest American Hero? Wasn't that awesome? I used to love that show back in the day when I was a kid. But anyway, let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen, because I have really gone off the rails really quickly here. Today is what is today? Today's the 5th of December in the good year 2023, and today's program is entitled Knock Knock. Who's there? That's right, because it's the time of year, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not aware, we're into the Christmas season, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever it is that you like to follow there. But anyway, we get together, we have parties at our houses and such, right? A lot of times people host a Christmas party or, a family get together, an event, whatever is going on there. So, and this is, thank God for, the mainstream media and the information that they're able to put out to help society maintain its stability. Because here today we have some personal items that you should, kind of put away and hide, as it were, before the onslaught of people coming into your house, right? So let's see what some of those items are. So I want to see what they wrote here at first. It just says 7 things you should hide before guests come over. Just like so ridiculous. I'm just somebody, I've hosted a lot, I always, not recently because, my life has shifted, but I've always hosted a lot. It's not really like brain surgery, right? People are coming over. You make sure the bathroom's clean, that where they're going to use. You make sure, you whatever your house, you vacuum, you dust. You make sure everything's kind of in order. You don't leave shit laying all around. You make a comfortable space. You have beverages or things that they're going to want to eat or drink. You're welcoming people into your home. You want to be gracious and have. So I don't understand why they even need to educate people on how to just be like normal humans and welcoming someone into your home. But I guess not everyone has that way of wanting to welcome people into their home or knowing how to welcome people into their home. But it does say here, when hosting, it's helpful to remember that a guest visiting your home has different needs and comfort levels than your own. Go figure. It's another person and they're different than you and they're in your house, which isn't their home base. Then, wow, that's really mind-blowing, right? Okay. But anyway, put yourself into their shoes when considering which items to put away. Understanding your guest and considering their well-being and preferences will only help you create a better experience for them. It sounds like a lot of work to, I got to worry about creating listen, you come to my house, it's me. You know me. It's going to be clean. It'll smell nice. You'll have good food. You'll have a toilet to take a leak. It's really not much more than that, right? Unless, you need a Uber ride home or something because you got a little tipsy. We can work it all out. All right. But anyway, so these are the items, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go through these here. Some stuff you should put away and hide before guests come over so you don't run into any problems. Number 1 on the list is your personal medication. So it says, when considering whether you should put an item away before guests come over, ask yourself the question, would this item ignite a conversation that I'm not willing to have? If the answer is yes, put it away. And this is often the case with personal medications, whether it's an injury you're treating or a mental health condition. Can you imagine? There's no shame in your medications. No shame in your medications. The pharmaceutical companies will tell you that. That's for sure. Please take more. Take more. However, it's best to keep them out of the sight of snoopers. Unless you're leaving your medications like out on the kitchen counter or something. Where are you leaving your meds? They would be in a medicine cabinet. And if somebody's going to go in the medicine cabinet in the bathroom, I guess you can't really control that. But that is probably you don't want to leave your fungus medication laying on the kitchen counter while you're prepping dinner. That might be off-putting to your guests. But the funniest part of that is to say is them saying whether even if it's for whatever you're treating or if it's a mental health condition. Can you imagine you got your schizophrenia medication sitting out and it's people come in your house, you're locking the door behind them. No, don't be nervous. Oh my God, he's locking the door behind us and he's got schizophrenia meds sitting over here. We're all dead. all dead, Oh, that's too funny. All right, number 2 on the list is your drugs and cigarettes. Don't leave your drugs and cigarettes out unless it's that kind of party. Maybe it's some people, like to put a big bowl of cocaine out, on the coffee table, and everybody kind of just dips their, instead of bobbing for apples, you stick your head in the bowl and you do a quick, snort, So, but first of all, if you have children coming over, keeping drugs or cigarettes in sight can pose an obvious safety issue. I mean, not unless the kids are going to pick up the cigarettes and start smoking them. What if you have a family that most people smoke? I mean, I don't think they're going to be offended to see cigarettes. But anyway, especially when adults may not be supervising. So don't leave your drugs and your loaded guns and the alcohol all together near the kids, okay? Even if there are no kids coming over, removing illicit drugs or cigarettes from your hosting space is highly urged. Between pungent smells and awkward questions from your guests, it's the polite move. I mean, first of all, again, too, if you're having people over and people know you and it's your people, just say you like to smoke weed or something. I'm not saying you have to have like a big bong sitting out like in the middle of the table or, for people to see. But at the end of the day, first of all, who leaves this stuff out? Even if you are someone that uses, I say marijuana because it's the easiest, one, and, the most common. I mean, if you're doing shit like meth and all, I don't think you're probably not leaving your crack pipe out. It's like, you imagine people come over, like, oh, shit, yeah, I'm sorry, I left my crack pipe there on the table. I forgot to put that away before you guys got there. I mean, otherwise, either way, if you're doing these type of drugs, generally people kind of keep that to themselves, right? Like, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm having a bunch of people over. Let me break out all my weed and dump it all over the table so they can see it. You wouldn't do that. You might roll a couple joints and have them in your pocket and say, hey, anybody here want to go out and take a couple tokes? That's a whole nother story. But, so drugs and cigarettes, kids, let me just tell you, please do not leave them out in the open for everyone to see. Okay? Please. It's like drugs. Like, who's leaving their drugs? You're having especially like if you're having like family over, oh, Aunt so-and-so and mom and cousin such and such, they're all coming over. Should I put the crack pipe away? Or, you think it's cool for me to, cook this Coke on the spoon, like while they're here? Or should I, is that something that Aunt Peggy might not like, All right, anyway. Unnecessary clutter. Well, this one does make sense. You don't want to have a bunch of trash or, magazines or papers, bills, all this shit, laying around, right? You want a nice open space for serving and hosting, but it does say an organized space equates to an organized and happy brain. And if unnecessary clutter stresses you out, it is likely your guests will be stressed out as well. If there are any countertops or corners that are cluttered with items, remove them before the guests come over. And then it says, let's think about your kitchen. They give an example. The toaster, paper towel, air fryer are probably not going to be used while hosting, and there is nothing worse than not having enough counter space, blah, blah, blah. So, they're saying put everything away. Put everything away. It's like in the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin when he had all the toys all around, and before the girl comes over, they have to hide everything, so his place is totally empty, right? He looks like he's got. She goes, "Oh, did you just move in?" It's like, "Oh no, I'm having the carpets put down or whatever the frig he says." But just if you really want to avoid any stress, if you have guests coming over, just take everything out. Just take the paintings off the wall. Take rent different furniture in case they have an accident on it. You don't have to worry about it. Put plastic down on the floors. Just make it a nice, sterile, empty environment. Have your food, laugh a few times, and send everybody out the door, okay? Jackets and coats are on the list here, too. So, of course, they're just trying to say, your guests are likely to be entering your home, with their coats on, because it's the time of year when it's cold and such. So, everybody wants to stay warm and cozy, blah, blah, blah. Do you honestly expect them to wear their winter coats all night long? Clear that hallway closet or coat rack. Clearing your items out of the hallway closet will leave space for your guests to hang up their outerwear, keeping the entranceway clean. Yeah, well, I mean, our family always did, people come over to the house, and usually we'd take the jackets, and I would always bring them upstairs to, like one of the bedrooms, and I would just lay the coats like on the bed upstairs, like in the master bedroom when I was growing up. That was kind of what we did. We didn't clear out. I mean, what are you going to do? If your closet's full of all your shit, you're going to take all your I mean, it's a lot of work. You're hosting a party. You already got to cook everything, clean everything, set everything up, make sure that you got ample, toilet space. Now you got to worry about cleaning out your closet too. I don't know. Maybe this is why I've been by myself so long. It's not worth it to have people over. It's a lot of work. You should make it clear. Listen, if you guys are coming over, I want you to know, I live like a slob. My place is filthy, and I got a bong sitting on the counter, and, a crack pipe on the table, and you got a problem with it, let me know, Well, I'll order you a pizza, and I'll send it to your house, and you can stay home. You don't have to come over to my place. How about this, too? Controversial posters or art. Hosting goes beyond someone giving someone drinks and feeding them. Good hospitality includes understanding how home decor and things in your space will affect your guests. Can you believe they do an analysis on this? Listen, you're coming into my effing house, man. Now, unless I got crazy pictures of in framed hanging all over the wall. I don't, or some big ceramic, dildo penis piece of art. It's in boobs. That would be a great thing in nowadays, right? Because with all the trans crap, imagine you do some modern art and you put on the wall these big ceramic breasts and then just below it a ceramic penis. This way we know that the breasts and the penis, it's all just one homogenized humanoid. We don't have to choose gender. It's a statement saying that we don't have to choose gender. Maybe if you're a Satan worshiper or something, like these people who are running the world, maybe you don't want to have your, Luciferian symbolism hanging up all over the wall, and the chicken heads that you cut off for sacrifice, laying in the middle, of the floor. These are just things to consider, but controversial. What's to say what's controversial anyway? One person's opinion of one thing, and I'm trying to say, you're coming to my house. You know me. If you don't want to come, don't come. I just don't. It's hilarious. So let's just see here what they say about that. That includes your controversial or uncanny art and posters. Thank God they say, we promise you can hang them back up once your guests leave. Hey. You know what I'm saying? This is my house. I'm welcoming you in. If you don't like it, then that's too bad. I can't imagine what people have hanging up that they even have to say something like this. I really don't know. Anything that might make your guests feel uncomfortable should be stored or swapped. When in doubt, anything that could be categorized as taboo, especially considering what you know about your guests and their expectations, should remain private, she explains. That's the person giving the advice. Should be private. I don't get it. I'm trying to think of something to be not. I thought of one thing, but I think it's a little too much. I shouldn't say that. But I don't know. Just pick a group, a culture, or something. Let me try to make it as innocuous as possible. I don't know. I really don't know. Whatever. I was going to say, if you have Jewish friends, you might not want to have all your Nazi paraphernalia hanging up around the house. That might be offensive. I have to go with my first thought. That's what it was, unfortunately. But that's how my brain works. What can I tell you? Anyway, pet toys and items is another one. Of course, you love your pets, and your guests likely love them too. However, no one wants to be stepping on Fido's chew toys and bones all night long. So, put your toys away. And that probably goes for your sex toys too. You don't want to leave your vibrators and stuff out. Maybe you normally leave that around, on the couch or something. So while you're just, kind of chilling, watching TV, you can, take care of business, whatever you guys and ladies do out there. Anyway, it'll help keep your floor space clean and create extra room for dancing. Ooh, we're dancing. That sounds like so much fun. I was never into dancing. Dancing's great. I understand it's beautiful. I just never cared for it personally. I don't understand why people want to dance. You know what I mean? I think, get like this a little bit. I can get like this, you know what I'm saying? But all this whatever these people do all over the place, it's just a little too much for me. But yeah, picking up the pet toys does make sense. Realistically, you don't want somebody tripping and falling or something happening, because then you're just going to get sued anyway. You invite them in your house, you feed them, they trip over Fido's chew toy, and next thing you know, you're in court. You're on people's court or something, having to deal with that. The last one here on the list, ladies and gentlemen, is your bills and personal mail. Excuse me. If you have fully committed to the paperless lifestyle, this one may not apply to you. Hey, if you've given away all your power and everything's online, you have no tangible way of controlling anything in your life, you might not have a problem with this one. But if you had the experience, if you've had a personal piece of mail delivered recently that may cause awkward conversation or glance, it's best to put it away, put it out of sight. Yeah, you don't want all those summons to court documents that are showing up at your house, to be laying out when you, when your guests arrive, right? Oh my gosh. So yeah, put your personal stuff away, ladies and gentlemen. Overall, let's give her a little round of applause for her. What do you think about that? Does it make sense? What should you put away? Put it away. Don't let people see anything you have. Hey-o. Quite honestly, after reading this list, you're better off just get a little catering hall, and rent it out. You know what I'm saying? Get a little space that you can if you have an association and wherever you live, maybe you have a clubhouse. Just use the clubhouse and just bring everybody over. Then you don't have to worry about it. I mean, it's a lot of work to have to hide your whole life. It's so interesting the way listen, I get some of those things. I mean, obviously, if you're having people over, you're not putting all your personal stuff. You're not going to leave your wallet laying out somewhere, or cash just sitting around. Things that, not that your family or friends would steal, but they probably would. But I just mean the fact that you even have to explain all this, you're hosting a party, and they make it not for anything. Hosting a party should be fun. People, your friends, your family are coming over. We're gonna have a good time. Why all this? You got to worry about what's hanging on the walls. You got to worry about if your dog's toy is on the floor. I just mean, come on, right? I mean, common sense is common sense. You're not gonna leave your freaking drugs. I mean, unless you're really crazed out on drugs, and I guess you would. You know what I mean? Somebody, you answer the door, you got the needle sticking out of your arm. You're like, oh, give me just hold on a second here. I'm almost done. All right. Anyway, holidays are beautiful, aren't they? See all the things we have to consider, and I hope you're having a beautiful holiday season so far. I know we're just really kind of getting into it. It's the first week of December, but it feels festive and it feels lovely, and it's great to be with friends and family. And I hope this information here today on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen, was helpful to you to see what you can do to create a space that is ingratiating and welcoming to the guests and friends and family or whatever that you're bringing into your own personal space. And make sure you kiss their ass. Otherwise, just stay by yourself and enjoy the beauty of solitude, because I can tell you that's the best party of all sometimes. All right. Anyway, that's what I got for you here today on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen. I love you guys out there. I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave me some comments and let me know if you do. Otherwise, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. I love each and every one of you individually as well as a group. And until tomorrow, well, first of all, God bless you. And then until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo disengaged. Is a boulevard of 10 short blocks.